And then you got the college football. If I would have said, hey, Indiana's going to be the team to beat. Miami is going to be in there. Alabama's going to get embarrassed. Georgia's out. Ohio State's out. That's what's great about this. Now, did the College Football Committee get this right? Because I know we love to pile on. Oh, why do you have those other schools in there, Tulane? And remember we were worried because Tulane got blown out? James Madison got blown out. Are we concerned about Alabama's future, Texas Tech's future? They got blown out. Wait a minute, I thought just JMU and Tulane got blown out. And now you got a Final Four that Ole Miss has a coach who's an interim coach, or he's taken over for a coach who goes and then wants to take coaches and then loans them back. And what a mess. But it's great. It's crazy. And it's fun. And I think it's wide open if you look at these Final Four teams. Indiana, Alabama. They SEC'd Alabama. There's no mistake about that. They dominated them. And even Kirk Herbstreit in the game is saying, basically, Alabama, hello, where are you? Paul Feinbaum, pick up a white courtesy phone. What happened? But Ole Miss is playing well without Lane Kiffin. And I don't want Lane Kiffin in the booth. I don't want him showing up, taking a victory lap for Ole Miss. Let them have their moment. And I'm glad that he wasn't there. Let those kids and that coach have their moment, not you coming back saying, hey, you see what I did here? Look at what I built here while I go to LSU. Transfer portal is a mess. But everybody, it feels like, is putting their name in the transfer portal. There's over 4,000 players in the transfer portal at last count. I mean, it's crazy. I do have a little bit of information, college football, from my college football source. Just sent this to me prior to the start of the show. And I'm curious about where we're going to be next year for the playoffs. My source says momentum remains towards 16-team playoff as soon as next season. The final decision for next season is due 2 weeks from this Friday. They will make or have a final vote on if they're going to have 16 teams in the college football playoffs. My source says focus also remains on the automatic qualifiers allocation with the Big Ten and the SEC. They want to have more teams in there, and the Big 12 and the ACC. Logistics and scheduling matters are also being worked on. So this is fluid right now with college football, with the playoffs going on, where we're going to be next season. And all indications are the momentum, and even what I was told a couple of weeks ago, there would be a 16-team playoff. But I did wonder about this. Did the College Football Playoff Committee get it right? Now, do I think Notre Dame was better than Alabama? Yes. Do I think they were better than Miami? Yes. But Miami was awesome. That defense was unbelievable. That was not a fluke when you watch that game. I don't know how good Carson Beck is. Didn't have to be great in that game. He's going to have to be, have one of those moments probably. But that defense, they put some pressure on Ohio State. And that was impressive. Dominating. And now you start to handicap this of who you got. Well, I'm rooting for Ole Miss for the story. Indiana's one of the great stories in college football history. Now, I don't want to go too big and dramatize this and say it's a miracle on ice, because it's not. But it is incredible if you grew up in the Midwest and knew that Indiana was always the team that had zero. It would be Michigan 54, Indiana 0. Ohio State 44, Indiana 0. Over a century, they accomplished nothing. And then in the last 2 years, you get a coach that any other school could have had. They get a transfer, who becomes the Heisman Trophy winner. You're winning game. You go out and beat Oregon. Like, they're winning games. They're physical. And that's what was impressive. I thought, okay, Alabama, they get a stop. They get a couple of sacks. I'm like, all right, now we're going to see if Indiana can be as physical. And then all of a sudden, it's like, that's one of those where your brother is bigger than you and he's on top of you and he's beating you up and you go, Uncle, Mom. Alabama was calling for Mom because Indiana was not letting up. And Mendoza, it was like, I don't know. I'll throw 15 passes, run the football, play good defense. But that was fun. But that's where we try to get into the hot take or prediction game. And man, does it come back and bite you. But it's been fun.